Welcome to r/entitled people, where we share stories from your lives about people who think the rules don't apply to them, and they should get what they want. Thank you, friends, for subscribing to the channel, and for so many likes. And today we have two great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story. Doctor doesn't listen to us repeatedly tell him the same thing, throws a fit and breaks everything in the room. He's then put on a DNR by the owner. The second story, after I quit, they failed the project and someone was fired. The first story is The Doctor. We're going to just call him Doctor because I'm not a clever enough person to come up with a name for him. Doctor calls our morning shift person on the day of his arrival a total of 7 times. Each phone call would last roughly an hour to an hour and a half, and filled with questions, all of which were the same questions he had asked the previous call. The rundown is this. Doctor is surprising his girlfriend/wife/hooker, whatever she was, and wanted the creme de la creme for when he arrived. He wanted champagne on ice, chocolate strawberries, a comp upgrade to our best suite, a late checkout of 6 p.m., as well as a couple other things I'll get back to. If you get the vibe that this is going to be a very needy guest, then congrats. You have the makings of a customer service agent, as we all got this vibe too. I come into my 4 to 12 shift for that day, and the first shift person explains all this to me, which our property does not provide any of the extras he requested. We can put it in the room if he ordered it and had it brought to the hotel, but we didn't provide this stuff. I thank him for the info and start my day. As I'm figuring something out with the DOS, the phone rings, which she answers, due to a guest coming up at the same time. I notice she places whomever she's talking to on hold, so I figure she needs to ask me something. I ask, and she says the guy on the phone is asking if we have ESPN Plus, which we don't. She relays the message, hangs up and sighs. She tells me that he's going to be here in an hour, and he seems like he'll be a problem. Mind you, I had no idea this was the same guy. Fast forward several hours, and I'm helping to relocate some guests. Their room smelled of smoke, and even the ozone machine couldn't fix it. We were sold out, so we offered to move them to our sister hotel, and even cover the costs. Overall, great people. What I didn't know is Doctor is behind them, overhearing all this and proceeds to butt in. He goes on saying that we're a non-smoking property, and how could we have a room that smells like smoke, and how could we allow it? He then says he's a bronchologist, and that his room better not smell of smoke, or there will be problems. I brush him off and continue helping the people in front of me, and get them on their way. Now the moment that's been built up, the check-in of the Doctor. Doctor walks up to the desk, and I can immediately tell that he will be problems. He looked like the super privileged type, that will strong-arm his way into getting what he wants. He starts in. Doctor last name, I called and got the King Suite upgrade. Did you make sure to have the champagne and actual ice, and not like ice chips? Otherwise there will be problems. And make sure the strawberries don't have melted chocolate. They should be slightly colder than room temp. I also was told you guys were newly renovated, and I have to say that your lobby looks worse than before, and is below the standard I would expect from brand name. Me, well sir, we're sold out tonight, which we told you over the phone several times today, so an upgrade was not possible. For the champagne and strawberries, we told you that if you did not provide these items, they would not be in the room, as it's not an amenity that we provide. The most I can do for you is provide a coupon for the restaurant in front of our hotel. I can even call over and explain to them that it's a special occasion, and to put you in a more secluded area. Doctor, no, I want what I paid for, and if you don't provide it, it's false advertising and I will sue your A's. Now get me my upgraded room, my champagne, and my strawberries. Me, I'm sorry sir, but none of those options are available. Would you like me to cancel your reservation free of charge, so that way you can find a hotel better suited to your needs? Doctor, no, screw it. I'll just talk to corporate tomorrow. And you, my friend, he said this with as much hate as he could muster, will have bigger problems to worry about in your future. Me, I'm sorry that you feel that way, sir. I can only tell you that I provided you with everything I can, and I hope you can at least enjoy your stay here with us tonight. With that, he snatches the keys from my hand, gives me a death glare, and stomps off towards the elevator. Now, if you all thought that this story was over, you're in for a treat, because we've not yet heard the last of Doctor in his super privileged point of view. I'm at the desk, just going over some reports, when I hear some very heavy sighing, and heavy walking coming towards me. This normally means that a guest with a problem is coming down to do battle with me, so I prep my best worried customer service face on. Around the corner stomps Doctor, and he's red with fury. I know this will be a long fight. Doctor, what channel is ESPN Plus on? I'm missing the big fight and was told you guys have this channel. I talked to your DOS and she confirmed it before I checked in. Me, I'm sorry sir, but that's never been the case. I was present for that phone call. and I was the one that told her we did not have it, and that we only had ESPN and ESPN2. We've informed you several times that we didn't have it. Doctor: Well, I thought ESPN2 meant ESPN Plus. How was I supposed to know? Anyways, isn't there a way for you guys to upgrade? Who's your provider? Me: Well, sir, I'm sure we could look into upgrading our package with Dish, but it isn't something we'd be able to do for you tonight, even if we do look into it. Doctor: Well, can't you just call them right now and upgrade your package for me? Me: No, I can't do that. It has to be a discussion with the GM, corporate, and our provider, not an FDA on a Saturday night. Doctor: Well, that's just disappointing. I'm a doctor and I have to say that this is the worst brand name hotel I've ever stayed at. I was also told that you guys had done renovations, and the rooms look the same as they did 7 years ago. I was gonna have some of my doctor friends come here for some conferences, but I can't put them in some SH hole like this. Can I at least get some sort of discount for my troubles? Me: Of course, sir. Best I can do is change your rack rate room to AAA, which happens to be $20 off. That's the most I can do for you myself, and if you require further compensation, it'll have to be discussed with any of the managers. Mind you, they won't be back in until Monday. Doctor: Well, give me their cards. You guys are about to get an earful. What's your name? You'll be mentioned in my review, and what happens after that's all your fault. With that, he turned on his heels and stomped back to his below-quality room. One thing I would like to point out, the property I worked at this time did not go through a renovation. We were getting ready to have a renovation. It was on our website that in the coming weeks we'd be starting, and if there were noise or cleanliness issues, bring them to us, but they had not started yet. I have some other stories about this for a later date. I didn't think anything of it. I knew that we were independently owned, so corporate was an awesome 70-year-old guy that would absolutely explode on anybody bad-talking his hotel or his staff. The guy was a legend and I miss working for him. The next day I walk in and morning shift is just brimming with excitement. She wants to tell me something really badly. I can tell, and I take the time to move as slowly as possible for some teasing. When we're both good and ready, she about screams from excitement. She says how Doctor came down and beat at her about all the issues from yesterday, and that we're going to be sorry for stealing his money. Our owner was in the back office tidying up when he overhears this, and this man, this legend, sprints out of the back office and gets in Doctor's face. He goes off on the guy, calling him a piece of SH in any way possible, and to get the hell out of his hotel, and if he even steps foot on the property again, he'll have him arrested for trespassing. Doctor leaves with his tail tucked in between his legs, and you'd assume that was the last of it. Dear reader, there's one final bit before this story reaches its conclusion. Doctor calls the GM on Monday and demands he gets a full refund for his troubles staying at our hotel, that he's going to be suing us for a variety of reasons, including false advertising, assault, and the unlawful discrimination of a tax-paying American. Ugh. My GM basically laughed at him over the phone, told the guy to shove it, and said he was lucky I even gave him the $20 back. The kicker to this all, Doctor completely destroyed the room, so we ended up charging an extra $400 for damages. I mean, if it could be broken, he broke it. The second story is, I told my team leader that I would quit till summer if I don't get a raise. I didn't get a raise, so I quit. The last top post remembered me to my quitting story. This happened 2 years before Corona. English isn't my main language. I'm giving my best. So to begin with, I always wanted to be a teacher, but when I was younger, I didn't have the right qualification. Good thing I also wanted to be an engineer, so I became one. Good second thing, after a couple years as engineer, you can become a teacher without having the requirements of directly becoming a teacher, because schools are low on staff. Also, maybe important, not sure though, the old engineers and heads bullied the line workers and even illegally cut their wages, and even tried to cut even more, which is why we formed a union and tried to fight for collective agreements. I was on the front of acquiring colleagues, and maybe because of this I was a little thorn in the head's eyes. Before my time, when they tried to form a union, they fired everyone involved. Sadly, the heads were pretty successful by frightening the line workers. And without the line workers being the biggest force in number, we didn't have enough power for our union. But this is another story. Now, this was my first job, and when I started, I was in a pretty SH life situation, so I was basically happy to get anything as soon as possible. After a couple of interviews, I ended up in this company. In the first wage negotiation for my contract, with the big boss of the company, he wanted to pay me less than I expected to get paid. I said I want at least this much. He only wanted to give me that much. And while I was trying to argue why I want more, he literally told me, I don't want to haggle like in the Turkish bazaar, which absolutely shocked me when you consider I have Turkish roots and live in Germany. Well, I thought, okay, let's stop this. There's nothing to win here. He promised me after 6 months of experience I'll get a raise. I know I should have left right on the spot, but I wasn't really in that condition and needed a job. After this, I hadn't to deal with the company's boss again, since he just manages the company and believes he has 3 jobs, which is why he deserves 3 times the money. 6 months later, we had the second wage negotiation. At this point, I just negotiate with my head of department. I was told I don't work hard enough and they'll give me another chance to prove myself. We'll talk in 6 months again. Well, 6 months later, guess what? He didn't see how I'm working enough, and now I have to write every step down to prove what I'm doing at my projects. I definitely did not start to work harder, screw you. Around this time already, 3 colleagues quit because the SH manager. Now one of our colleagues gets promoted to being our team leader. I tell him, listen, if I'm not getting a raise till summer, I'm out. In my head, I'm thinking I need 2 years of experience. Then I can maybe even be a teacher. Just hold on another year. It'll open a lot of doors. I follow and fill out their micromanagement papers. Around like 4 months later, we have the 4th wage negotiation. I keep asking for them. I had colleagues which didn't even have the second one after 1 year. Now with my team leader and head of department, they literally told me I should be happy they don't quit me, and I'm definitely not becoming a raise, maybe if I work harder. Guess what? He offered me to observe this another 6 months. In the meantime, Corona's knocking on our doors. On a Friday, I tell my team we should make an emergency plan if we had to do home office. They laugh at me. This won't happen anyways, and if so, we can still find a solution later. Joke's on you. I come to the office on Monday and everyone is on alert. We're closing and we have to work from home. In the same week, I look for other jobs and also check out my options to become a teacher. To finish my engineer's degree, I switched states. I wanted to learn microelectronics, and only applied sciences universities in Germany offer this. I find out in this state, I'm able to make a special master's degree for teaching, if I already have an engineer's degree. I call the university just to ask what my options are, and they can't believe an electrical engineer wants to use the offer. The semester already started, but they're willing to sign me in right now, and retroactively sign me into the current courses. I'm like, okay, sign me in. I call my head department, HOD. Hi, Anonym Bird, what's up? Anonym Bird. Hi, listen, I quit. I already sent my quitting note with email and mail to the Human Resources Department. HOD. I need to sit down. You're shocking me. Well, you're breaking my neck. Okay, I have to look at what I'm doing now. I'll call you back. They effed up the project. The head of departments got fired. Yeah, I had like 4 bosses. Screw this place. Since then, I had 3 job offerings from schools to just quit my studies and start working for them. I'm starting to work as Corona health teacher next month and becoming a full-time teacher in a year. Subscribe, hit the like button, and have a good day. See you in the next video. Have a good day.